birthday, as it is time for Premier's Picks, Glenn Suitor, and let's bring on the Premier. Premier,
Jamie,
I'm a little worried about you.
Why?
The King is starting to gain ground. 3-1 last week. You were 2-2, so that means he's climbed to just 4 wins back with half the season left.
You know, it should be tighter. It should be more interesting for the listeners. I'm good with this. It should come right down to the wire.
Okay,
there's a confident man right there.
Against the King? No, it shouldn't, Premier Wall, and I think you know that very well.
Well, first of all, the King is assisted. Date night's been assisted by a coin. That was, 4-0?
Yeah, 4-0. The coin had the only perfect week for Gary, and he had the gumption to make a intro song last week for himself.
Right. He has the Triple H intro music. And I would just say that even if he were to pull off a miracle and win this thing by the end of the year, it will forever have the asterisk after it, because he was assisted by a coin. Now, admittedly, I got help on one pick from 27.
You didn't need any help, Premier. You didn't need any help. You're doing it on your own.
Well, on that one, I probably would not have picked. It was BC. I would not have picked BC, but that's one. That's an assist on one, because I would have picked the other ones that Glenn chose. Whereas the coin picked all 4 winners, and I'm sure the King would not have picked those. I'm just confident.
Yeah, Premier Wall, I have failed you the last 2 weeks because I want you to tell the story from number 41, Tyrone Brackenridge, from a couple of weeks ago.
We had our golf tournament, our annual Regina golf tournament, and it's a big tournament. So a group goes off in the morning and a group goes off in the afternoon, and they set me up. I'll go quickly. They set me up on a par 5, convert it to a par 3, about $1.20, a pitching wedge, and I kind of join the teams and play with them. And if lightning strikes and my ball's the closest, they can use it. But by the afternoon, that gets a little bit old, and it was a beautiful day. And we had riders that were done practice. They were coming out either to golf in the afternoon round or, just to maybe hang out for a little bit. And Tyrone Brackenridge didn't particularly want to golf, but he came to that hole. So I had the harebrained scheme that we should give the choice to the oncoming golfers to play golf or football. They could play the hole normally, or we would challenge them. And we were a couple of guys that were sitting around at the hole. There was a tent there, and people could get a hot dog and a Coke. And so there was quite a few gathered around and waiting for the afternoon to go by and enjoying it, including Darren Kusky, who is a quarterback in the Regina Flag League, and a very good one. He plays with Wes Cates and Matt Dominguez. They've gone to nationals. He's a great quarterback, and a few other players from that team. So here was the quick offer we gave to the teams that came in. We said, look, do you want to play ball? If you do, you can get an ace. If you stop us, they're going to be on defense. We're on offense. If you stop us from driving the width of the fairway in 3 downs, if you don't stop us, you still get a par. Most folks wanted to play football, and I think 4 out of 40 some groups chose to golf. So it tells you what. And these are people of all ages, and sadly we had some injuries, including I think the third last group. A gentleman blew his Achilles, literally. I mean, it was bad. Tyrone did Glenn will know this better than I do, did the on-field test with the calf to see, if the foot was responding to certain things, and it just wasn't. He literally had to go to emergency, had the surgery, was successful, home a couple of days later. Tyrone goes to the store on his own, the Rider store, grabs one of his jerseys, buys one, calls me, I'm able to get down, we sign it. I have to go to Yorkton that night. He goes to the gentleman's house, gives him the jersey along with, I think, a few other folks from the Rider organization. I just thought, man, that is class. One final thing, there's a picture on Facebook of me on the ground trying to catch a ball. The football's on the ground. I've clearly missed it. There's another gentleman who's clearly worried. He's got his hands out. He's trying to help me. Tyrone Brackenridge is standing over me with his hands in the air because I've dropped the ball. Because we gave, by the way, the teams that would come up if they chose football, they got to have Tyrone Brackenridge as their safety to try to stop us. So that's why I'm glad Tyrone's on the Riders, but I was a little disappointed in the pass interference and the celebratory dance after I fell down trying to dive for a catch.
Nobody calls pass interference in the CFL anymore. So
well, that's true. But it was my tournament. I mean, somebody should have been there.
Absolutely. And thanks for sharing that story. As Tyrone Brackenridge, a class act, has been here for 2.5 years since he was signed late in the 2011 season.
And Jamie, it's hard for us as Raiders fans to admit that about a Chief.
Yeah, it
former
is.
Kansas City Chief, but there you have it.
Terrell Pryor, quick thoughts on the start for Terrell Pryor for the Oakland Raiders this week.
I think Super Bowl MVP is probably too strong a descriptor at this point, but I'm kind of glad he's starting because there's no O-line there, and he can scramble, and we're going to need a quarterback that can run.
Yeah, more rushing yards than passing yards likely this season. But let's get to the picks as we bring on the King 3-1 last week. No intro music because I've banned it. I have banned the intro music.
That's cool. Unless it's a 4-0 week, and then, of course, it's allowed because anything goes when you're 4-0.
Well, let's see if the coin does it or not.
Then the coin should get intro music.
And real quick, you guys, I think that's a shared asterisk, Mr. Premier, since you tricked me knowing my passion again for beaches and women and drinks and Glenn Suitor's guitar. So you knew where I was going to be. And I know you say that you don't think that much about this, but something tells me that you had a part of that too. So we're going to split the asterisk.
Gary, it's every Wednesday at the same time. There's no conspiracy. There's no tricking.
Except for when you canceled it, then called it back on in the last second.
You don't need to air the dirty laundry behind the scenes of Premier
I'm just saying.
What are you, Ed Hervey? What's going on here?
I'm so disappointed. I'm so disappointed in Gary. Even after he has a good week, he's still complaining.
Gary, get us started. Do the Edmonton Eskimos have a hope against the Calgary Stampeders?
No, and there's going to be another cry fest, and people are going to get fired. It's going to be beautiful.
Premier, I imagine you're going with Calgary as well?
I'm hoping for a Stampeder win and an Ed Hervey press conference.
A Premier, you can get started. BC Hamilton. In Hamilton.
It's in Hamilton. It's at Guelph, right?
Yeah.
At the University of Guelph, and I'm going to pick Lule and the Lions. Yeah, they're going to win.
I thought I was going to hear Ticats there, but I am going to take the Ticats at home because I need to catch up.
And the BC Lions are terrible on the road as well.
Ooh, yeah.
Yes. Toronto at Montreal, Premier Wall.
I think we're going to go with Montreal again.
Montreal and Tanner Marsh. The King.
He looked a lot better than Zach Caleros, didn't he?
Yep.
Ugh. He can't be that bad 2 weeks in a row. I'm going to take Toronto again. They owe me.
Okay.
Oh, perfect. That's perfect.
Going with Toronto as Saskatchewan, Winnipeg. Premier Wall, do you have a point differential in this one?
I don't, but I can tell you this. I have been trying to learn the banjo, and there may or may not be a YouTube video coming out shortly of kind of an homage to the Banjo Bowl.
Oh,
maybe.
Boy. Oh.
Gary, are you going with the Riders or the Bombers?
I'm not that crazy. I'll take the Riders.
Do you want me to flip the coin?
Not in this one.
Let the coin, Gary.
You know what? Okay. You got a coin around there? Let's do it. Let's ride.
Hold on.
I have a coin.
Hold on. I know
Hold
I
on.
have one in here.
And I got one, Jamie.
I need proof, though, you guys. You can't just be saying, oh. I want someone else there. We need a witness.
No witnesses.
No witnesses.
You want me to use my coin? I got a witness.
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, which one? Heads is which is the Riders?
Heads is home, tails is away.
Okay, Everett, your heads is home, tails is away. Tails.
Oh, so he has Saskatchewan anyways. You got
look at that.
See, the coin loves Gary Nickel. See, was it a nickel? Did you flip it with a nickel?
It was a toonie. It's my last one.
Okay.
Well, Premier Wall, we'll see how you do. I think you'll have a great week compared to the King over here.
I hope so. Thanks, guys.
All right. Thank you very much.
Mr. Premier.
Take care.
Premier Wall here on Premier's Picks.